Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance, episode 45 of Guess the Trade, but first let's talk about episode 44. We looked at Steve Rivera. He had a Klein backpack, also a little Husky pouch, some really great tools in there, lots of nice organization. What was it that he did with those tools? Well, WM Rivera 01, he guessed in the comment section, appliance repair. He said works on dishwashers, refrigerators, some sort of appliances. I can't remember exactly which ones, but Steve Rivera replied to his comment and said, this is the correct answer. So that's what Steve does with those tools, appliance repair. I want to believe that there were several of you that might have said something along those lines, but WM Rivera 01, he said, got it right on the head. So that's what he did with those. So I appreciate you sending those in, Steve. Now we're going to look at two loadouts today. One of them's only got a couple pictures, so that's why I'm throwing in two. Today we're going to look at It's Derek. He has a Klein backpack as well. Also, we're going to look at some drawers in one of his toolboxes. And then we're also going to look at Adair Rodriguez, who has, I think it's a Vito Tech Pack. I don't ever see the outside of the bag, but just looking at the inside, that's what it looks like to me. So I guess it's also going to be Guess the Trade and also Guess the Tool Bag. So I know some of you are going to know it as soon as you see it. But let's go ahead and get into these two loadouts. The first one we're going to look at is It's Derek. Let's look at his tools and see if we can guess what it is that he does. So we're going to start by looking at the outside of his bag. Again, it is a Klein backpack. I don't know if it's the same exact one Steve had, and his was camo, and this one's just black and orange, but it's a Klein backpack. Has that kind of tire-looking bottom on the bottom. So DeWalt, he's running DeWalt as far as his impact goes over here. Also, he's got either a pocket knife or that's one of those Klein N1 type screwdrivers. I'm not real sure. And then he's also got an ink saw, small adjustable wrench, a couple things of tape. Looks like some hex keys over there. Again, we're going to see all his tools. I'm just letting you see this Klein backpack in case it's something that you would want to look into. Next picture, he's got it opened up. So he's on the back side here. Looks like it's primarily screwdrivers. He's running some Mastercraft, Milwaukee Cobalt, let's see, Klein, Vera. He's got Malco's. Let's see what that one right there is. It looks like a Mastercraft too. So multiple different brands in there. So that's nice to see because to me it shows me that he just likes certain tools. So that's what he uses. Also on this front side, we can see a little bit, but I think he gives us a better look at that in another picture. So here's that side of the bag if you want to see the loadout on that. Next picture is the other side. Looks like he's got some bigger pliers or his wrenches and stuff. So his other side was mostly screwdrivers. This side looks like his wrenches. Also carries, it looks like a lot of zip ties. Some sort of possibly a hammer over there. So again, we'll see it here in just a minute. Here's all those tools it looks like out. So we'll go up here to this top left. He's got the Klein flip socket with the 9/16. And he's also has like it on a 14-in-1 adjustable, 20-in-1 adjustable. I didn't pay any attention to where if we could see that back here. I still can't tell. That might say 20-in-1 right there. So basically it's that in-1 type screwdriver. Also has the Vera running his metric flip socket. So he's got the metric and the SAE flip sockets, and he's running those in two different screwdrivers. He also has the 8-in-1 stubby right there. Some Milwaukee slotted screwdrivers of 3 different sizes. Some Vera precision drivers. I really like the look of those Vera precision drivers. I've been running the Weha Pico finish in my bag as far as if I'm not using an N1 screwdriver. These are the ones that I've liked the most. But I think I like that little nub on the Vera out there in the end. I would think that that'd be pretty nice for your fingers. I've never used one, never held one, but I'm curious about those. I've actually been looking at them. I think Toolin' with Newman just had a video where he put a whole entire set into a pack out. And I was looking at them then, and I thought, you know, exactly where that little nub is probably about the right spot for me. So I might try out some of those. So if you've used some, put some comments below if you like the Vera precision drivers. But he's got some of those there. Also, he's got a Mastercraft, looks like pry bar, a Cobalt Phillips screwdriver, Mastercraft, looks like almost like an ice pick type thing. It's I don't know if he's made that out of a screwdriver because it's kind of a weird handle for an awl if that's what that was supposed to be. So he might have had a screwdriver that got damaged and he turned it into that. Also has a punch and then a hammer, a Klein non-contact voltage tester, gray tools as far as his Allen keys right there, but it looks like he also has a mix where he's lost some and put some different ones in there on as far as at least for the metric sizes. He's got the Milwaukee adjustable wrenches. Those are really good. Again, I've always said those are the best box store ones that I've tried. They're a little bit fat, but as far as the movement on them, I really like them. Let's go ahead and go back down to the left over here. So he's also got Malco's running alongside of his flip sockets, and I do the same thing. You know, I really like the flip sockets in my tool bag. I've said this in many videos in the, answering questions and things like that. Bang for your buck and space, you know, to be able to stack all those on top of each other. I don't necessarily like running them in my impact that way. You know, I mostly use it as a magnetic nut driver screwdriver set. I prefer my Malcos whenever I use them in my impact. It's just for whatever reason I've always used them. It's not that they really perform any different, at least for me so far, but I do still run Malcos. I really like my Malcos as well. So he's got those also. And it looks like he's got the 5/16, 3/8, quarter and 5/16. And then probably that one's probably the 5/16 and 3/8, just a longer version as well. That does look like that's a Mastercraft. Looks like it's a knife, not one of those Klein screwdrivers. Down here he's also got a couple little bit holders inside of a Mastercraft case. Here he's got some, looks like hex keys, short ones, long ones, running an O light. I think that's maybe an I3 or something like that. Then he's also got a set of SAE sockets down there. Mastercraft, a little small 1/4 inch ratchet. I'm assuming these are probably Mastercraft on the ratchet right there as well, although the name on that extension right there doesn't look like Mastercraft, but I'm not sure what it is. But he's got an extension, a ratchet, also has a 10 millimeter, a couple 10 millimeters, actually a 10 and an 8 combination. 7/16, 13. He also runs a 10 and 13 socket in this drawer, or in his bag, because this is the stuff that's in his bag. So again, think about this kind of stuff, 10 and 13. He's specifically carrying sockets and metric of 10 and 13. He's got a whole SAE set, but something that he does uses primarily 10 and 13. And then he's also got 13 millimeter wrenches, and then also a 5/16 over here as well in the end. This tool here almost looks like something that he either had specifically for something, or he's made it himself to fit something that maybe he does in particular. And he also has an 8 millimeter right there as well, so another 8 millimeter. Then he's got this yellow bit box, couple Vera wrap adapters in there, some DeWalt bits, some Milwaukee bits. So he's just made a combination of different things that he gets. Step bit right there as well. I think that's pretty much about it. I don't think I missed anything there. I was trying to read what maybe's in those cans, if that would help us, but I don't know what that is. So that's what's in his tool bag. Here's some more stuff. So this was just the screwdriver side, I guess, but I think it still had some of his wrench side. And then over here's the rest of them. So we got some diagonals up there. Also looks like maybe Knipex on the needle nose. Let's see, is that Southwire? Or no, that's Mastercraft on the strippers. He's also got one of those Olfa style knives is what I call them. Vice grips, a couple different pairs, a couple different sizes. He's also running the 250 Cobras. Those look like they're Klein lineman pliers probably. And then he has a pair of channel lock spring clip type pliers right there. And let's see, I think that's it as far as his tool bag. So this is what's in his tool bag right there and right here. Now we're going to get into some of the stuff that he's just showing us around his garage, and in particular I think a lot of it's in his toolbox. So he's got a Stanley set here, different sockets, different ratchets, looks like 1/4, 3/8, 1/2 inch. So it's just one of them complete sets by Stanley. Also has a screwdriver. I had a Craftsman set just like this for a really long time. It has, you know, wrenches in it, Allen keys, deep sockets, shallow sockets, metric, SAE. Although all I'm seeing mostly is, well, no, it's got metric and SAE. I'm seeing both of them there. So extensions. So basically it's just a complete socket set from Stanley. Going on to the next picture, he's also got a 41-inch maximum toolbox over here. DeWalt batteries again. There's another socket rail. He's got another 10 millimeter. He's got those everywhere, like a lot of people. And then again over here on this side, he's got, looks like some gloves inside of this box, a magnetic rail. Next picture, he's got some dynamic 8-piece SAE reversible combination ratcheting wrench set. These are all SAE, so he's got those right there. Next picture, DeWalt angle grinder, DeWalt hammer drill, and then a flashlight in that drawer. Over here he has a couple squares, it looks like, also some gaskets. So now we're getting into materials, and again I always say materials might point you in a direction on guessing the trade. It looks like some sort of like weather stripping right there. Some springs, and again some of you may see these parts and stuff like that. Again, they're not ringing a bell to me, but you might see this stuff and say, boom, I know exactly what he works in. So that might help you out. So just take a look at those real fast. He's also running a T5 1000 for a meter right there. Next picture, inside of here we got again some more stuff. He's got some Magnum drill bits, also a couple more foldable hex keys, Master Force adjustable wrench, step bits, more Milwaukee screwdrivers, Vera screwdrivers. So he basically picked out the ones he probably uses the most, put them in his bag, and these are the spare ones from that set. Longer drill bit, several things over here. There's a puller over there. Here's a hardware box. Again, this one might help us. Looks like self-tappers for the most part. Let's see, some washers. Up there is, again, some self-tapping screws. Let's see, some clips for some wire. Tap cons. Wire nuts. More roofing type self-tappers with a little weather strip gasket. Also looks like just some general wood screws. And then here's some of those 3M cable ties. And if you remember, he had a bunch of zip ties in his bag as well. And those are those mounts for the cables. So that should throw us in a direction maybe. I believe that's his last picture. It is. There's his name. So again, here is his hardware box. Here is that drawer. There's another drawer. There's some of the tools that he keeps in his garage. I don't know if he takes these with him or not. So again, that's the Stanley set below that. Here's his reversible combination ratcheting wrenches. I can't say that real fast twice. Maximum toolbox. There's that set again. And then again, here's the tools in his tool bag. You can kind of see it set up in his bag. Again, there's all those zip ties. He has those things back there. He actually is keeping some of those wrenches down the bottom. I see them down there now. And then here's the other side of his bag loaded out. And then there is the bag itself. But yeah, guys, that's It's Derek's Loadout. That's kind of weird to say It's Derek's Loadout. But comment down below if you have any idea what he does. Again, some of you probably saw some of those extra parts, maybe his hardware, those kinds of things. Sometimes the tools are basically could be in any kind of trade, so it's hard for us to get it there. And some of you may know exactly what he does just based on some of those things. You had those metric sizes specifically that he carried in his bag. Maybe some of you know something about that. But again, comment down below if you got any questions for him, but don't forget to guess what it is that you think he does. So the next loadout that we're going to look at is Aldair Rodriguez. Again, just 2 pictures. It's basically a loadout in his bag and then the tools spread out. So not a lot to look at, but let's go ahead and look at his tools and see if we can guess what it is that he does. So here's picture number 1 of the inside of his bag, looking at it. And again, I want to say that this is a Tech Pack because this doesn't look like my only other thing I thought it might would be was the Tech MCT Blackout, but this isn't any of my kind of panel that I've got in mind. So that's what's making me say it's probably a Tech Pack. Over here, he's also running a Milwaukee Impact. It's the one with the 3 lights on the front. So he's got all these. And again, he's going to pull these tools out, but we'll see if we can kind of see. Looks like he's got some Klein screwdrivers, Milwaukee non-contact voltage tester, Klein and Milwaukee pliers, Klein adjustable wrenches, those kinds of things. So it looks like a lot of Klein and Milwaukee for the most part. So we'll go ahead and go to that next picture. So here they are out. We'll start over here, see what we can see. Looks like, is that a General Electric? Is that like a zip tie cutter almost? That's kind of what it looks like, one of those that pulls the tension and cuts it, unless I'm just looking at that wrong. Also, Milwaukee non-contact voltage tester, couple tubing cutters. He's got a small, those look like they're rigid, but I don't know if that's what they are or not. And then he's also got one a little bit bigger. Milwaukee 16-foot tape measure. Also a headlamp of some brand. He's got the adapters there to work with outlets that don't have a ground, or to put something in a light socket so you can test it, or maybe even put like a circuit breaker finder. That's what I use those for a lot. I'm not real sure. It's a cutter of some kind up there. I can't tell what the brand is on that yellow one up there. Then it looks like he's got some foldable hex keys, Milwaukee tubing cutter right there. That's the non-ratcheting style. And then he's got a blue ratcheting one. Looks like maybe that's cobalt down there. So it looks like a S-wing hammer. It looks very much like mine, except mine's old and not blue anymore, or mine was black to start with. I can't remember, but it's kind of a black looking now. Milwaukee duck type knife. He's also got the 3-piece set of the Klein adjustable wrenches. A couple Stanley beater chisels, it looks like. Some, those look like those Wiss shears or snips. Also the Milwaukee demolition screwdriver right there. Empire torpedo level magnetic. Also a Craftsman little mirror right there. I got that on clearance. I've got that same exact one. I got it on clearance on those one day. He's got a service wrench there. Also Milwaukee push button, also tongue and groove pliers, but these have, I've not tried the ones with that head on it, so I'm not sure. I always talk about all the time, every time I see the straight jaw Milwaukees, about how much I hate them and despise them, and I can't believe people still use them. I've never tried that pair with that kind of head. Maybe they're better. You guys can let me know in the comments below, but he's got those. But then also tucked in right behind there, he's got the tongue and groove pliers of death back there, in my opinion. Those are the ones that I do not like at all from Milwaukee. I just never have cared for those. Also has a Crescent pipe wrench, 10-inch it looks like. He's got another one back in behind it of some brand. So he's got a couple different pipe wrenches. So he's got tools a little bit of all over, in my opinion. He's got several, you know, plumbing tools, but also could also be electrical tools, because he's got a lot of electrical tools. So it just depends on what he does in electric, if he does. Also here he's got a Husky light. We'll scoot on over. Klein, it looks like he's got that crimper that a lot of people have. Also some Klein strippers. I think that looks similar to the pair that I've got that I don't care for too much. I used them. I don't not like them, but I also didn't love them. He's got that Klein, a pair of needle nose there with some cutters. Another pair of diagonals. I think those are Klein Lymans right there as well. He has the stubby multi, some conduit wrenches, or conduit lock nut wrenches from Klein. Those are those offset ones. A small thermostat screwdriver. Looks like he's also got the Impact 11-in-1, and then maybe just a regular. That one's possibly the magnetic Impact 11-in-1, I think. Diablo spade bits. Also I think that's a Malco, like you stick it in your drill or impact and it gives you a little shear cutter right there. Pry bar, and then also looks like a jab saw. I can't tell. That might be a Milwaukee. It looks like a Milwaukee. So there's all his tools. Again, just a couple pictures to look at on this one. I guess down here he's also got a flip socket or a Makita bit set, but he's also got a mod box set. That looks like maybe that's the original 3/8 set possibly, unless it could also be the starter kit. I'm not real sure. It might be the starter kit right there. So he had that down there as well. But right there's all his tools that were in his bag. And again, here is the bag opened up so that you can look at the loadout and see how he's got those tools in there. But that's Aldera Rodriguez's tools. Again, only a couple pictures. Comment down below for sure if you know that that's a tech pack. I'm almost positive that it is, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I saw plumbing tools, I saw electrical tools, saw several general tools, but again, you can use all those tools in several different trades. But take your best shot at guessing what it is that you think that he does. If you've got questions for him, comment that down below as well. And then don't forget to guess about It's Derek, his loadout as well. Comment down below what you think that he does. But as always, I hope you learned something from this video, whether it's helping you load out your own bag, seeing a tool that maybe you're seeing for the first time, whatever it might be. Hope it's helpful in some way, but you guys stay safe. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next video.